Welcome to Mahjong Central. My name is Michele. In this episode of Nosh and Such, I'm going to make an appetizer that I think will be really good for a Mahjong game. If your friends like spicy food, I guess. This is called buffalo cauliflower. It's made with sriracha sauce and a little honey for some sweet, and then we're going to put it over cauliflower and bake it and serve it with ranch. Now, you don't have to dip it in ranch, but I'm gonna. All right, so here's what we do. We have to have a 3/4 cup of flour and a cup of water, and then we're gonna season the flour, of course, and mix in the water to make a batter. So let's go ahead and do that. So we need a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder in there. Let me see, yeah. I've never made this before, so we'll see how this, uh-oh, I lost my spoon. Here we go. So 3/4 teaspoon, oops. Yeah, I'm kind of clumsy in the kitchen. I make a mess, I burn myself. Yeah, that's kind of how I roll in the kitchen. But that's okay, it all cleans up. Okay, so there is the garlic. Now we're gonna put in salt and pepper. And this is kind of just to taste. I've got this on a coarse ground. That's probably good. And I'm going to put some salt on there. And now I'm just going to whisk that together, mix it up really good. See if I'm missing anything here. No. Okay, now I am going to mix in the water. Okay. This is going to be a runny batter. Okay, so that looks pretty good, I think. Then I have my cauliflower, that is, already cut into bite-sized pieces and washed and dried. So at this point, I'm going to mix the cauliflower in the batter and transfer it to a cookie sheet that I put parchment on. You could also use cooking spray if you want. So let's do this mess. I'm going to use this. I'm going to kind of get a lot of that batter off of there. And then I'll just put each piece on the cookie sheet. Because we're going to kind of pre-bake this. And then we're going to pull it out and put the buffalo sauce on after it cooks a bit. So this is going to take me a few minutes. Yeah, this batter is, it's messy. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to kind of drain that batter off because it's pooling here. It's a good thing I'm testing this recipe here. Okay. Here I go. Hopefully I won't make too big of a mess. That's perfect amount of batter. This recipe says that you need 2 heads of cauliflower. I must have had a big head of cauliflower because I used almost all of that batter for 1 head of cauliflower. I think that's a good portion though, because it took up 1 whole cookie sheet. If I had 2 heads of garlic or cauliflower, I would have needed a whole nother cookie sheet, and I don't think we're going to eat that much cauliflower. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the only one in my family who likes cauliflower, so I'm going to end up probably eating all of this all week long. That's okay though. I like cauliflower. Okay, so there we have it. That's the battered cauliflower. I am going to put it in a preheated 450-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Cauliflower is in the oven, and I am now going to clean up this mess, including my shirt. I got cauliflower batter all over me. And then I'm going to come back when it's done and show you how it looks out of the oven. And then we'll make the sauce, which is going to be honey, sriracha, and butter. And we'll brush it all over that cauliflower and bake it a little more, and then we'll pull it out and have a taste. All right, the cauliflower is out of the oven and it looks pretty good. I kind of pinched one and it feels like it's cooked through pretty well, actually. So the next part of this recipe is to make the buffalo sauce. And at first I thought I was going to use this sriracha sauce, and I don't even know really how you pronounce that. It's spelled S-R-I-R-A-C-H-A, sriracha, but I hear some people call it sriracha. Maybe that R is not enunciated. Anyway, I just call it sriracha. It's kind of hard to say, really. But anyway, this is made with chili, and it does have honey in there, I believe. Let's see here. Where's that ingredients here? Sugar, chili, sugar, salt, garlic, vinegar. And then for a truer taste of buffalo, I thought we could use this red hot cayenne pepper sauce. And this has, obviously, cayenne peppers, vinegar, water, salt, and garlic, no sugar. So I'm going to half the sauce recipe and do half and half and compare, which I like better. So I'm going to half the recipe. The recipe calls for, if we were to do one or the other, it would be 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 teaspoon of honey and a half a cup of the sauce. So I'm just going to cut that in half and make 2 versions. And basically you melt the butter and then add the sauce and honey and then stir it together. So I'm going to do that for each of these, and I'm going to put them in 2 different ramekins so that I can make 2 versions and then compare the 2. So here we go. And I'll take pictures along the way because you know what? I'm going to try something new. I'm going to film me cooking over the stove. All right, I've got my pan over a medium-high heat. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of butter and get that melted. And then I'm going to take a half a cup. Let's do the sriracha first. We'll get that melted. Okay, now I'm going to add a half a cup of the sriracha. I probably have that a little too high. I'll turn it down to like a 4. Okay, then I'm going to mix in a half a teaspoon of honey. Try to get all that out of there because I like honey. Sweet and spicy. Yeah, this is definitely hot. So that doesn't take a lot to get to a heat here. I think there's no cooking really needed. It's really just to melt the butter and combine it. So I think that's just plenty. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this back over to my ramekin and pour this in a ramekin, and then we'll make the other flavor. I'm just gonna bring this over here. We'll pour that in. Oopsies. That chili kind of got up into my throat already. Yikes. All right, now I'm going to rinse this out real quick, and then we'll do the buffalo sauce. Now we're going to add, that teaspoon of butter. Clean up that mess. Get this melted. I'm going to do the Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce. Oh boy. I don't like a lot of hot. I hope I can tolerate this. I might have to deliver these to a friend if I can't tolerate this heat. And now the honey. All right. The butter's melted, so I'm just combining at this point. Okay, that's powerful. I can smell the vinegar for sure, but not so much the cayenne. Maybe this one, it definitely will have a different flavor, I think. All right, now I'm going to turn off the heat and transfer. It's definitely more watery. Now we're going to go back to the cauliflower with these two flavors. I lost some footage, so I'm just going to bring you up to speed on where I'm at with the cauliflower. I took each of the sauces and brushed it onto half of the cauliflower. So we have two flavors here. We've got the buffalo, which is a little more orange, and then the sriracha, which is a little more red. And I am going to put this back in the oven for 10 minutes. I brought the cauliflower out of the oven and it looks pretty good. I think I'm just going to turn them over to try to get some nice color on the other side. So we'll see how this turns out. I'll put them back in the oven for 5 more minutes. I don't want to overcook them, but I'd like to try to get some nice color on the other side. Kind of like it's like that one has some nice color on it. So let's see if I can get some color on that other side. Okay, I'm gonna get this back in the oven. We'll see if we can get some more color on there. All right, so while that's cooking, I did get some ranch in a little ramekin for serving, and I lined a serving dish with parchment because I think it's pretty. And then when that's ready, I'll bring it back and we'll plate and I'll taste. I brought the cauliflower out of the oven, and there's definitely some good color on there now. You can see. That's probably a little piece. You probably can't see that. So there's some good color. And now I'm going to transfer it to the dish. There's some big pieces, some little pieces. There. So if people don't really like cauliflower, they could maybe try some of the littler pieces. People like my husband. I'm hoping he'll taste a little bit of this. Oops. He likes spicy stuff, so maybe he'll actually like this snack. And the sauces kind of look the same color now, and I don't remember, I didn't mark it, so I don't remember which way I put it back in the oven. And the orange and red, there's not too much of a difference, so I'm just going to have to taste for the difference and see. I think this is the buffalo side, and I think this is the sriracha sauce. There's the buffalo cauliflower. It's too hot to taste though. I'll taste this one here, and then I'll taste this one here. Okay, so those will be my tasters. They're not too bad. Let's give it a try. So I want to taste it before I dip, just to see. It's spicy. And the cauliflower is definitely cooked through. So, I'm gonna dip. It's good. It's spicy though. So if you don't like spicy food, this will not be a good recipe for you. I would serve another appetizer on the side and make sure that my guests would know that this one is spicy, and then have maybe something savory available as well. So I think that was the sriracha one. I'm going to try the buffalo one, which is what this one is, I think. This one seems milder. I'm going to take another bite before I dip it. I think the buffalo sauce is a little more mild. I'm going to dip this one too. It's kind of pretty. That ranch just kind of cools down that heat of the two sauces. But I think it's a good recipe. You definitely have to like spice though. The recipe is below the video in the description area. Give this recipe a try and let me know what you think. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click subscribe. Between now and the next episode of Nosh and Such, May all your picks be keepers. I think I'll have just a little one. Just a little one. That's pretty good.